Welcome back to another episode of the Ryan Io Show, man. We got episode 3 of the NFL season, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning back in with us, man. Today, we got a special guest in the building, man. I'll let him introduce himself. You go ahead, bro. The floor is yours.
Greetings and salutations, my friends. My name is Frank. I'm a sports management major at the University of Illinois and a proud member of Beta Theta Pi. I'm glad to be on here and talk about the NFL and what's going on with the Bears, because honestly, a lot of people don't know what's going on with the Bears, but we should do.
For sure. We appreciate you for joining us once again, bro. Greatly appreciate it. So, we just gonna dive right into it, man. Oh, my bad. Io, say what's up, man. You need to say what's up.
What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? I'm enjoying this football season. I'm ready to talk about it. Let's get into it, man.
All right, man. Let's get into it, man. So first, we're gonna start off with what we thought about week 2, man. Give our reactions to week 2, overreactions. What you guys think about what's gonna happen later on because of week 2. So we dive into it. You can lead us off, man. What did you think about week 2?
I think week 2 showed a little bit, obviously showed more than week 1. It showed early predictions of where you could see a lot of team season headings. Like if a team continues to look bad during week 2, like you can't tell, oh, it's just a rocky start, because it's like only so many games in the season. If you keep not improving game to game, it's like you're just gonna be a bad team. So a couple like teams that I think is just gonna be good, and I think the Ravens are just flat out good. I think the Bucks, they're not that level of good, but they're not gonna be as bad as people thought they were going to be coming into the season. Mm-hmm. And also, you got some teams that look worse than people might have thought they were, like the Bears or the Bengals. But we're going to get into that.
Frank, what was your reaction?
I have to be honest with you. I think the Buccaneers are in a really interesting situation here. I mean, it's a team that want to play. That's been to the playoff 3 years in a row. They won a Super Bowl 3 years ago. But the roster is just a little bit changed up at quarterback. Baker Mayfield's in his last chance to prove that he's a quality starter in the league. And, if he does fail here, then he completely blew. This is honestly one of the best rosters he's ever been on. Solid offensive line, great defense, and a strong receiving core. And if you look at the team as a whole, they all have a lot of intrinsic motivation that they're working on. Mike Evans wants a contract extension. Baker Mayfield wants to be a starter, and the defense wants to repeat in the playoffs. So, all in all, I mean, it's kind of interesting to see where this team will go, but everyone on that team has the same focus. Like, everyone there wants to be winning, and everyone wants to do their job. Whereas teams don't have that, and some teams like the Bears, not all the pieces are there. So, yes.
I agree 100% with what you guys said. I feel like week 2, like I said, we're starting to learn more about like kind of what teams said, kind of what teams will possibly rank in the future, in the weeks to come. I don't know what's going on with Joe Burrow, bro. He hasn't played up to his standards, but it's like the Bengals usually start slow. But it's like at the same time, you did just get a contract. You did just get the highest paid contract in the history of football. So it's like you got to show up. Then we got players like Deshaun Watson, who's underperforming for sure. After he just got $230 million a couple off seasons ago, so it's like he got settled too. And now with the absence of Nick Chubb, who's out for the season, and now that injury was gruesome, it was terrible. And now without Nick Chubb, they're going to need him to step up even more. So it's like, we got a lot of teams and players underperforming. Even like with the Broncos, I thought the Broncos were going to actually be a lot better than they were last year. They're not making a lot of noise to convince me that they're a good team this year. Yeah, but we do got those surprising teams though. I didn't think, well, honestly, yeah, like you guys talked about, I didn't think the Bucks would be this good, honestly, coming into the season. I kind of slept on them a little bit. I'm not even gonna lie to you, I kind of slept on them. But like I feel like what Frank said, Baker, he's in probably his best like situation to perform well. He has a strong receiving core, Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, a good defense behind him. he really just has to go out there and do enough to win. Like he can just be a game manager and just let everything else like do what it does. Like, and I feel like he's in a great situation. I feel like this Bucks team has is surprising a lot of people right now, and I'm excited with what they do this season. I want to see I want to see how good they are throughout the season. So yeah, I think week two. I think it was a good week though, honestly. Um, what performances surprised you guys, and what performances disappointed you guys?
Um, Puka Nakua,
Mhm.
um, random name, but amazing performance. He's really excelled as a number one receiver for replacing Cooper Cup. And
Mhm.
Matthew looks to be in his 2021 form again. I mean, a lot of people, there were a lot of questions on this Rams roster about how they would perform. You had a lot of old players on that roster that would be retiring soon, including Aaron Donald, and Stafford's up there with age. And you also have some unproven commodities in terms of late round picks because they have not had a first round pick since 2016
Mhm.
and not built their roster organically through the years. If you look back at when they were making playoff noise since like the year 2017, all their key contributors to their winning seasons were either trades or free agent signings.
Right.
While it looks like I mean, they won the Super Bowl with it, but I don't think that's going to be something that they can do long term. And they're probably going to have to transition to like front to the front office strategy and like really evaluate college and scouting, which honestly they haven't really done. No draft picks that they've drafted over the years really stood out or Pro Bowl talents outside of like Jared Goff. But yeah, they're not in a they're in a weird situation because like they want to win, but at the same time you have such an old core of players that just keeps uh, deteriorating over time, and it's going to put you in a really interesting situation come draft day.
For sure. Hey, what about you?
Um, I, you know, I'm a I'm a Ravens fan for Lamar Jackson, so I've been watching some Ravens tape. So obviously, I'm gonna say Lamar Jackson. I think he's getting back to one of his elite forms. Like he was okay last year before he got injured, and he was like, wait, I think this season, especially with the weapons that he has, especially with Zay Flowers, I think he can really have a MVP type of year again. So I really liked his performance this week. And then you also have, who did I just forget? We got Tyreek, obviously that duo out in Miami with him and Tua. They just put enough great performances and they're getting the wins. That's important. So I think, yeah, that's the two like highlight performance I can name this week: Lamar Jackson and Tyreek Evans.
Yeah.
Amazing performances.
Nah, yeah, that's one thing. One thing I did know is with Lamar Jackson. He's like, I feel like every season he's gotten better as a pure pocket passer. But even with this season, I feel like he's taking an even bigger leap, bro. Like you said, I think he definitely has potential to win MVP this year with the way he's been playing. And also, the Ravens, they seem like a good team as a whole. So I feel like they can very well be contenders. Like, yeah, people gotta watch out for Baltimore this year, bro. I think that team is something serious this year. But yeah, yeah, like you said, with Pook, I don't do you, I got a question for you, Frank. Do you think he can keep up this level of play when Cooper Cup comes back?
Can you repeat that, please?
Do you think the Rams rookie receiver, I don't want to butcher his name, so I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. Do you think he can continue this level of play when Cooper Cup comes back?
Well, he's obviously adding as a substitute. He's playing in a substitute role for Cooper Cup,
Mhm.
so yeah, he will be playing at. They'll just have him play at different routes. They'll have him maybe in a slot role, but that's mostly Cooper's role anyway. So I think he's honestly going to be in a position where he's going to like start out just the way he did early at the beginning of the season, because he's being in a deep threat. Whereas Cooper Cup more resembled like a traditional route runner receiver, like
Mhm.
that of Eric Decker or Julian Edelman, and nothing's really going to change. But they'll also focus and attention on Cup once he comes. And if you're eager in fantasy football, I would highly recommend you get Nakua while he's available. I know I missed out in my league, so
Yeah, I did
yeah.
too. All right. Well, um, today normally my favorite part of the show is our week two predictions, but I gotta get some off my chest. Um, with me being the Bears fan, bro, I just gotta say, like, what the hell is going on, bro? It's like during the off season, the Bears come in, they get DJ Moore. They trade the number one pick for DJ Moore. I'm like, okay, another weapon for Justin Fields. And then on the offseason, we see a lot of highlights of Justin Fields, DJ Moore. Got all the fans excited. Yay, we're going to be good this year. The season comes, bro. The game against Green Bay, he has two targets. Game against Tampa Bay, he plays well in the first half, and then the second half, he's nowhere to be found. Nah, I'm a firm believer in fire Luke Getsy. Um, Matt Eberflus, he's definitely on the hot seat. He should be on the hot seat for sure, but it doesn't seem like it. Um, and it's also like I don't know, bro. It hurts me to say this, but I see a little bit of regression with Justin Fields, bro. Um, he's for one, he holds the ball entirely too long. Our offensive line already sucks, so you don't really have much time anyway. So like if he doesn't see an open receiver, and instead of just throwing it away, he's gonna just take a sack. And then there's plays against the Bucks where they'll show an open receiver coming down the seam, and he just completely just like I don't want to say ignores it, but it's like he doesn't see it and instead just takes the sack. It's like bro, what's going on? And then we got our offensive coordinator calling running back screen passes on our 6 yard line, and then it gets picked off. And then even the Bucks player said at the end, they were like, "Yeah, we knew he was going to call a screen, bro. Like that's all they call." It's like, bro, we got DJ Moore, we got Darnell Mooney, even Chase Claypool stepped up for one time. I forgot he was even on our roster until last week's game, bro. So it's like, bro, what are they doing? And then the defense, don't even get me started on the defense, bro. Like I honestly feel like I could play corner at this point, bro, for the Bears, bro, and have the same level of production, bro. Like it's crazy what's going on with my team, bro. And Frank, I know you're a Bears fan too, so I'm gonna let you say what you want to say because I know you're very passionate about this topic as well, bro. But it hurts me to see this, bro. Like it really does, bro. Like the Bears make me upset every week, bro.
Yeah, gladly. So let's start with at the beginning of the year, I mean, at the ending of last year to be specific. He was on the verge of breaking a rushing yard record for a QB and on a losing team. He didn't necessarily carry the team because they did have a losing record, but he kept them competitive during that season because those teams they actually didn't lose by like blowouts. I mean, if you look closely at last year's Bears schedule, they lost close games, but they still ended up getting the first overall pick. And if you look at the way Fields played, he didn't have any robust talent around him. I mean, yeah, you had Komet, who's a serviceable tight end at best. You had a Mooney who got hurt, and then a a game that wouldn't really help you in the passing game, and a really horrible offensive line. So when I saw him running for his life, it said to me that he was overcompensating for a lack of a supporting cast around him, which does make sense. I mean, it was one of the more depleted rosters in the league. Their draft class from last year wasn't a bright draft class. They drafted one wide receiver who was 25 and was only going to contribute on special teams. So they were poised to have a busy offseason. They got Tremaine Edmonds. They got another linebacker from the Eagles. I can't remember his name. Then they drafted some additional pass rushers on the defensive tackle side, and they drafted some rotational players. They signed Yannick Ngakoue, who's a pass rush specialist, and you won't have to worry about him stopping the run because he's not. He has a supporting cast around him that can do that for him. And even then, they traded their first overall pick to the Carolina Panthers for exchange for an elite receiver in DJ Moore. So what this tells me is that you have a competitive defense now a 4-3 scheme. So you're going to be attacking the QB in the pass rush, and you're going to have all the linebackers drop in coverage and trying to pick each other off or create pass deflections and generate pressure that way. And they're doing their job to a degree, but they can't capitalize on it because our QB keeps turning the ball over, and which is a disappointment because we thought with an overall better talent on his roster that we would see his level of play increase, but we're not seeing that, or at least we're not seeing that to that degree. And when I see him on the field, I feel like his arm strength isn't there. He feels a lot slower than last time. Like I don't see the speed, and maybe that's just because of the new offensive scheme they're putting in because they're obviously trying to pass the ball more with all the weapons they have. And I mean, they've given him all the tools. I mean, offensive play calling could be an issue, but you shouldn't be calling screens on 3rd and 6 and relying on like short passes to get you downs when you have deep threats that you're not capitalizing on. Not to mention, just now, I don't know if you noticed this, but their defensive coordinator resigned.
We just read it.
Yeah, I mean, if I saw Mahomes on my schedule after going 0-2, I'd probably wet the bed and leave. That's my take. But overall, like we try to put him in the best position to succeed, and he's not living up to those expectations, which is very unfortunate.
Do you think it's more on fields or more on the offensive coordinator or coaching?
Well, I mean it's both, but I mean we would be doing him an injustice if we didn't include the debate about the offensive line. Last year, like they were mocking them to draft offensive linemen, most notably Peter Skoronski out of Northwestern. That was my pick. I made multiple mock drafts, and I post mock drafts daily on my Instagram. So if you want to go check that out, go ahead. But
can you let us know what your Instagram is?
My username is Frankie Bones 2K97.
Gosh.
Yeah. So going back to what I was saying, we were supposed to draft a strong guard out of Northwestern. He's born Chicago raised, born Polish raised. Like he would be just an ideal culture fit. Then we draft an offensive lineman who was scheduled to be a 3rd round pick named Darnell Wright out of Tennessee. An ideal pass blocking tight offensive tackle, but wasn't as good of a run blocker at Tennessee. In spite of this, we put him at right tackle, which that's really out of position for him, considering the fact that right tackles are more primarily run blockers than pass blockers. So we're having a lot of it's a very young offensive line, but it's very disorganized, and I think that's going to take some time.
Sure. Any thoughts on the Bears? Even though you're probably loving this right now, I don't know why. But
I don't hate the Bears. I don't know why I don't hate the Bears at all. I'm from Chicago. I'm not gonna hate them. I just don't. They're not my team. I don't think I have that. I'm not too aligned with any one team in the NFL. I just like watching entertaining games. So it's interesting because all I heard all this off season, especially because I don't use Twitter as a user, but I like looking at it for sports news. So about all the sports journalists, all the beat writers, all that type of stuff. So all I heard was beat writers retweeting how people were so excited and it's the season for Justin Fields. Like you all say, he got these weapons, so he should see a new and improved version of this man. And all I see after 2 games is people talking about it's time to have a conversation. And so it's just kind of it's kind of funny to see the flip so quick. It's been 2 games, and it was yeah, we done with this man. I see people talking about Caleb Williams. That's what we looking for now. Y'all already changed your QB1 after 2 bad games. That's crazy. That's just crazy to me. But I don't know. I don't watch him that much. Maybe y'all know a little bit more. I just seen maybe it's too quick to judge. Just obviously he's having a rough start to the season. Ain't no if and but it like y'all said, he's slow in the pocket. Even compared to his last year, so he's way slower this year. So that's something that you obviously don't want to see. You want to see improvement. But I'm saying maybe if it was game 6 and game 7 and you're still playing like this, I'm all right, I see what y'all saying. But yeah, I know especially because this draft class coming up is loaded with QBs, like we got Clayton Williams, we got Buddy out of UNC. So there is a chance to like draft a franchise quarterback, especially if you're not sure about the one you had. But I feel like people was just talking about him like he was the only bright spot last year, and y'all ready to give up on him after 2 games is kind of funny. I ain't gonna count you. That's just kind of funny. That's kind of funny. So y'all, let me ask y'all. I've seen it on Twitter. Let me ask y'all: is y'all ready to change y'all QB1?
No, not yet. I think it's not yet because I think I still, bro, because I was a, I was a, I'm an Ohio State fan. So when Justin Fields was in college, I watched almost all of his games. So I saw the potential in college. I see the potential now. Like he has talent. Justin Fields has talent. Like he has talent. And it's crazy because when he was at Ohio State, they didn't really call design run for him because he was that good of a passer. They didn't need to. I mean, the weapons he had in college that plays into it too. But he was a passer in college, bro, which is why I'm not understanding like what's going on, bro. Like, if I was the Bears, I'd honestly consider calling Ryan Day to find out like what he did, like because clearly they're not playing to his strengths, obviously. And it's like I don't like he's not like as a pocket passer, like he's not progressing, right? He's not reading defenses the way he's supposed to be. Like I don't know what's going on. When in college that was his strength. So I don't know why it's not translating to the league. That's why I feel like coaching plays into it a lot because for one, I don't trust Lou Getsy and Matt Eberflus anyway. And I feel like it's showing with these play calls, bro. Like that screenplay backed up on our own side of the field, bro. When we need a 2 minute drive to try to tie the game, bro. Like, bro, what are we doing? And then like we saw last year, he was able to run. I have I have seen probably this whole season like probably two design run plays from him. Even though last year he rushed for over 1,100 yards last year. But hey, I don't know, bro. And I don't know what's going on with the team, bro.
Let me slide this in real quick. Like I'm gonna let Frank go, but so do you think this is a situation of him learning bad habits from being in a bad situation, or is this just all on him and how he takes his game plan from game to game?
You mean Justin Fields?
Yeah, you think is this him learning bad habits, or is this just like how he prepares himself for the game?
Um, I mean, I feel like him preparing him. I feel like how he prepares for the game has to do with coaching too, because they're the ones who get from the game plan. So I mean, if he's not prepared right for games, then yeah, he's to blame too. But that's the coach's job to get their player prepared for the game. That's literally what a coach is. But I mean, the bad habits, yeah, you could blame that on the situation, but it's also like you can't blame the coach for him holding the ball for 5 seconds, bro. Knowing he doesn't have a good line to begin with, bro. Like those are things he has to improve on, or making reads. Like you see a wide open receiver, throw it to him. Like there was a play where the Bucks ran cover three. Cover three. The design of cover three is to prevent the deep ball. So automatically, if you run it out, you're going to probably 9 times out of 10 it's going to be open. That's what they did. They ran it out with DJ Moore ran it out. Instead of him throwing the ball, he held the ball and got sacked. And DJ Moore's just looking like DJ Moore just put his hands up like, what are you doing? Like stuff like that he has to improve on. But it's coaching definitely it's that I feel like coaching is the biggest issue in this whole situation with the Bears, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Frank, you go. I'm done with this team.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't think a QB change is necessary. I mean, if you want, if Nathan Peterman is a sexier option for you, then go ahead. But I know deep down you're not going to think that. But we there obviously isn't a QB in our roster that can fulfill that. I mean, overall, listen, I believe in full development. I let out my frustration whenever I can, but I'm I believe I'm a firm believer in development, and I want to give this guy an equal chance, the same way we did for Mitchell Trubisky. I think we should do the exact same for Justin Fields. My only issue now is that while he is making a lot of mistakes on his own and getting sacked a lot, um, it's also his responsibility to communicate with the line and tell them about how to prepare for the game, how to adjust when there's a running when he's going to turn into a runner. And honestly, I mean, they need to be able to understand his skill sets because I feel like there's a lot of people transitioning into a different QB than before. DJ Moore's just been used to pocket passers. He's used to like grabbing the ball down the field on deep routes, and I think they need to try and utilize receivers to his advantage. So instead of going calling nine flat routes deep down. They need to be focusing more on slants and Omaha passes and try to really go deep in the middle of the defense. You could really, I mean, you could do a lot more damage with run after catch and just long balls down the field. And I think that's a winning strategy for Fields. I think that'd be fitting to his play style, and it would just, I think that would be able to be a first start for improvement because right now
Sure,
he's not.
for sure. Well, and speaking of what you said about defensive coordinator, yeah, I read about that. I read about that right before we started this conversation, and the reports are crazy. So it's like the reports on why he actually resigned are kind of crazy. So I don't want like I was going to dive into it, but I don't want to speak on it until like it's actually confirmed like what's actually going on with that situation. So yeah, but yeah, overall it's like bro, I don't know what to do with the team, bro. But yeah, let's move on to a different segment because it's yeah. So um, this next segment, we're gonna play a game of Would You Rather. So I'm gonna I'm gonna give you one of the other. I'm gonna give you one player versus another player, and you're gonna tell me who would you rather go with right now. And this at this point of the season, like in today's time, who would you rather go with? First, I want to give you guys Tua Tagovailoa or Justin Herbert.
Herbert.
Herbert, okay. I
Man, man, it's I understand like pure quarterback for quarterback. I would probably have to say Justin Herbert, but for these situations, how much of a how good of a quarterback they are in individual situations, I feel like Tua would exceed and is like a better quarterback for Miami than Justin Herbert is for the Chargers. If you
okay,
get that makes sense. Like if in a vacuum, like if you talking about straight up, like you started a team and you need a quarterback, I would take Justin Herbert. But if you talk about like who is a better quarterback for their individual teams, give me Tua.
okay.
If that makes sense. If that makes
I'd
sense.
probably go with I'd probably go with Justin Herbert right now, but I do think Tua has potential to be better than Justin Herbert in the near future.
Because
Um, I was what you say, Frank?
as long as he's not getting concussed, he should be fine. I mean,
For sure.
it's always been kind of weird. I mean, I feel like the questions about are usually are done with now, just because of the fact that he's got two elite receivers, and now all of a sudden it's making him look like he's dropping bombs like 90 yards down the field. I mean, it's still it's unique because it's like he's not one of the more strong arm QBs in the league, and he's left-handed. Whereas Herbert, he accelerated in the league when the moment he entered it. I mean, he threw for 4,000 yards in his rookie year, um, 5,000 yards the next, and he still keeps continuing to improve. I mean, he's obviously I mean, he always puts his teams in the best position to win, and he's exceeded a lot of expectations.
For sure. Next one. This one might be a little difficult. We got Justin Jefferson and Tyreek Hill.
Jefferson because he's a route runner first and everything else second, and you can't be a receiver if you don't know how to run routes. I mean, you can be fast, but that deteriorates over time.
For sure. What about you, Ira?
I feel I get that with the speed, but bro, it's just I understand that, yeah, like pure like route running, and I feel like hands, Justin Jefferson got it. But I feel like I understand with the speed deteriorating, especially as you get older. But right now, bro, speed it just helps you so much because if you can create that slight separation, that's all you need. Like, of course, having elite hands and being able to run routes like correctly is elite talent to have for a right receiver. But it's just the separation that he creates. Like you said earlier, like he makes. I'm not gonna say average because he's not exactly average, but he makes quarterbacks look better because of his speed and the separation he creates from his coverage. It's special, man. It's a reason why the Dolphins traded for him. The guy went out and got him because that's how special he is, bro. So I'm gonna have to just say Tyreek, man. Everywhere he goes, quarterbacks flourish. So I'm gonna just have to say Tyreek.
I'm gonna go Justin Jefferson. And the reason I'm gonna go Justin Jefferson is kind of similar to what Frank said. I'm gonna take route running any day. I'm gonna take route running technique over speed any day because even though don't get me wrong, Tyreek Hill is a beast, bro. Like he might just have 2,000 receiving yards this year, bro. Don't get me wrong, he's a beast, but I feel like Justin Jefferson, like his route running combined with his hands, his size as a receiver too, is like he's probably the best receiver in the league right now, honestly, if I'm being honest. So I'm gonna go with Jefferson. I'll take route running over. I take route running over speed. Like I like route running over speed. I feel like that's more valuable as that you need to have as a receiver because honestly, a lot of receivers are fast in the league. Like don't even, like the league has a lot of fast receivers, but it's like what separates receivers is like their ability to get open. Like, and I feel like route running that's what it is. Like route running is like your ability to like create separation against corners, especially in today's time because we have a lot of up and coming elite corners. So being able to like gain separation against those guys, it shows that you're okay. You're that guy. Like, and then we saw last year with Darius Slade at the Justin Jefferson. This year, Justin Jefferson came back and put up 159 yards. So I feel like Justin Jefferson is probably the best receiver in the league right now. Yeah. So next up, we got Joe Burrow versus Josh Allen.
Shiesty.
No Shiesty.
Shiesty all the way.
Why you got
I understand that. Like Joe Burrow just has this calmness and collectiveness to him that like it's just so essential, especially when you talk about a quarterback, the leader of your team and your offense. That's like one of the top qualities to have, keeping a cool head. He got a great arm but bro, it's just like I understand like Joe Burrow is amazing, but Josh Allen was tall and durable and is a great quarterback. Even though he does some reckless and hero like action that he don't need to be doing sometimes that be blowing me like why is you trying to hurdle everybody just it's not that serious, G. Like it's gonna be another down. Like this ain't for the Super Bowl. You ain't trying like that'd be blowing me, but especially if you take like everything into account, like durability, everything. I know he re-injured his like that's even though it's like not out of his control a little bit, but it's part of the thing. Like he is more susceptible to injury than Josh Allen is, in my opinion, Joe Burrow. So like availability is a part of how I rank players. So I'm gonna say Josh Allen.
Okay. I'm gonna go Joe Burrow. Ever since he took them to the Super Bowl, I've always said he was the second best quarterback in the league behind Patrick Mahomes. On his like, it's just his ability as a thrower is like, and no, honestly, it's not even that because I feel like Josh Allen has a much more talented arm than Joe Burrow. I feel like what separates them is Joe Burrow's intelligence. I feel like Joe Burrow is a much smarter quarterback than Josh Allen is. Like you seen him like week one when he played the Bill when Josh Allen played the Jets. Like he's a little impatient and he tries to force a lot of stuff. That's why he has so many turnovers, interceptions. I feel like Joe Burrow, he's a smarter quarterback. I feel like he turns the ball over a lot less than Josh Allen. And at this point in their careers, he's been more successful. He's got a team to the Super Bowl. He's got a team to the AFC Championship. So it's like Josh Allen, he has yet to get to a Super Bowl. So and plus in last last season, Joe Burrow and the Bengals beat the Bills to get to the AFC Championship. Burrow beat Allen, so it's like I feel like I'd have to go with Joe Burrow. So yeah, I got Burrow over Allen right now.
Let me talk about right now. Who 0-2? Let me stop. Who 0-2 right now? Answer me that, Ryan.
Okay.
Who's got the best?
Didn't the Bengals start off slow the last 2 seasons? And where'd they get?
But he injured. But he injured right now.
Okay. We'll see, bro.
I need to see that again because they the only team last year that started off like that, still made the playoffs. But hey, let's see if we can do it again. Let's see if lightning strikes twice.
3 times.
Let's see.
But anyways, we gonna move on, man. Next up, we got Myles Garrett versus T.J. Watt.
Garrett all the way.
Garrett, okay.
Yeah, so here's the deal. I mean, they came out of the exact same draft class. Everything. They're both talented players. They've both been developing at the same exact rate. However, which defense is built around who? Because prior to T.J. Watt coming through, he was already on like an older defense that was well established. You had players in there like Stephon Tuitt, Cameron Hayward, Ryan Shazier, and he was just a piece to a puzzle. Whereas Garrett, on the other hand, he has been in the rebuilds of the Cleveland Browns. He has built them from the down up, and now they're like an elite defense because of him. Their whole defense relies on him. It's not the same way as T.J. Watt because last year when he went down with an injury, Alex Highsmith came in and he got a lot of sacks and got a big contract extension.
For sure. What about you, Ayo? Or do you want me to go next?
Hard to argue with that. It's hard to argue that because Myles Garrett is an amazing defensive player. Like, I'm not saying T.J. Watt is any slouch. Obviously, he's not. It's always hard when you got like a famous relative, especially one that played in like the same league as you, and you coming in after them. It's like always so many expectations on you to be great, like they was. And he obviously not obviously. I'm not saying that he's better than his brother, but he's a great player in his own right. So it's like amazing to see he carved out his own name in the league. But Myles Garrett, that boy is just they would be, I think, it's hard to say. It's hard not to say that Browns team would be way, way worse if Myles Garrett was not on that roster. So I'm gonna have to say Myles. I'm gonna say Myles Garrett.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Myles Garrett too. I feel like somebody that big should not move the way Myles Garrett moves, bro. Like it's kind of crazy. Like I seen a clip of him doing a crossover before he rushed the defense, like before he rushed the quarterback and stuff. And it's like, bro, he showed the lineman what exactly the move that he was about to do, and he still did it. And it's like he does it so fast, like he's bro. No one that big should be that fast, bro. And like his ability to just get to the quarterback, bro, it's crazy. Don't get me wrong, T.J. Watt, he's good, bro. Like he's definitely, I give him top 3 defensive end in the league, bro. When I think he's listed as an outside linebacker, but he's up there when it comes to like best defensive players in the league for sure. But I'm gonna go with Myles Garrett. I'd probably rather have him on my team than T.J. Watt. So for the next one, we're gonna stick with pass rushes. We got Nick Bosa versus Michael Parsons.
I mean, the Cowboys have been saying that they drafted him as a linebacker and they're just playing him as an edge rusher. I barely notice him in coverage. I barely notice him when he's like trying to cover a receiver or try to stop a run. Everyone knows him when he's trying to rush a passer, and that's what makes him dangerous. I mean, he's not getting his feet in the hand in the dirt and playing defensive end. I mean, they're kind of just having him rush in the inside linebacker position and having him play that way. So, but Nick Bosa, on the other hand, if you look at his play style, I mean, he's contributing to stopping the run and rushing the passer, and he's excelling in both of those realms.
For sure. What are you, Io?
Yeah, they both are part of like incredible defenses, and obviously everybody, especially now, knows about the Cowboy defense and how dangerous he is. And Michael Parsons is a big part of that defense, the Cowboys. They, like, I don't know, it's just because he's the most vocal, but people see him as a leader of that defense. And it's a great scheme that they run. It's obviously showing results. You have a shutout first week, and this week you played amazing again. So it's like kind of hard to deny that talent of Michael Parsons. But you know what Bosa is. Like, that boy is a monster. He's a big part of that defense out in San Francisco. And I'm about to say Bosa. He's just so versatile and so talented, and it's like a big part of we talked about last week how the 49ers had one of the best rosters, and he's one of the main reasons for that. So yeah, I have to say Bosa.
I'm gonna go Micah. So we got the reigning defense player of the year versus my pick for this year's defense player of the year. I feel like Michael Parsons is probably a top 5 player in the league. Well, I think the Cowboys said that he was moving the defensive end. I could be wrong though, but I think that's what they said coming into this season. I think they say he's gonna be strictly a pass rusher. But yeah, I feel like he's like a top 5 player in the league. His ability to get to the quarterback, he gets with speed, he gets with strength, bro. And it's like with Michael Parsons, bro, him just being on the field is like it makes it worse for offenses. Like he doesn't even have to impact the game by rushing the passer, bro. Same with Nick Bosa though, but I feel like Michael Parsons, I feel like you've heard coaches and players talk about like we have game plans specifically made specifically to stop Michael Parsons, bro. And it's like Michael Parsons also only been in the league for a few years too, so I feel like he's only going to get better, bro. So I'm gonna have to go with Michael Parsons. I feel like I said earlier, I think he's my pick for defense player of the year this year. And there's also even been talks of people like wondering if he could win MVP. I don't think that's going to happen, but people are even like putting him in MVP ballots, bro. So I feel like he's that good of a player. But to save time, we're gonna move on to the last subject, bro. Our week 3 predictions. So how this goes, I list the games for the week, and you guys will give your prediction who you guys think is gonna win. So starting off the first game of the week, Thursday Night Football, we got the Giants going to San Francisco to take on the 49ers. Who you guys got?
They're going to be out with Barkley, and you're going to be out with Andrew Thomas. And if you're going to try and convince me that that team went to the playoffs last year because of Daniel Jones, you'd be out of your mind. I mean, that guy's a game manager at best, and he doesn't have any elite arm strength. I mean, he's just a manageable QB. He's not the reason why they succeed. It's really it's their defense. So now that you have a lot of talent and supporting cast going down around him, I expect him to regress as well. And their contract situation with him is gonna look like what the Jaguars did with Blake Bortles after that 1 year they went to the conference title game, because they gave him half the extension when they could have drafted Lamar Jackson, but they decided that he was worth more money than what people have thought of him, and he regressed, and that team went like 5-11 last year, the year after that.
You got the 49ers?
Mm-hmm.
For sure. What about you?
Yeah, 49ers, bro. They're just too good. And as you said, Barkley's probably not playing this weekend, not playing for a couple weeks. So it's hard for the Giants to get some wins in these upcoming games. But yeah, give me the 49ers.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Niners as well. Next up, we got the Colts at Baltimore.
Is this for a Monday night game?
Oh no, it's a Sunday game. Sunday at 12.
Colts and the Ravens. I mean, you have a rookie QB that can't read defenses yet on the Indianapolis Colts. I mean, I think this is a shoo-in for Baltimore.
Baltimore. What about you, guys?
Said Lamar Jackson played great last week. I'd expect him to continue this level of play coming in week 3. So I think they should have no problem with taking care of the Colts.
I'm taking the Ravens as well. Next up, we got Tennessee at Cleveland.
I'd say the Browns. Browns are a more complete roster.
I'm gonna go with the Browns as well.
Yeah, I want to head on Deshaun Watson, but he's not that bad. So I'm gonna give me the Browns. Like I want him to lose, but he's probably not gonna lose this week. So I'm giving the Browns.
We got Atlanta at Detroit.
I'm a big Falcons fan, but I think they're not going to be able to handle Detroit. Jared Goff is on a new role and a new mission in life, and I think he's going to be able to beat this one down.
For sure. I got the Lions as well in this one.
Yeah, I got the Lions. That offense is too good.
For sure. Next up, we got the Saints at the Packers.
Like I said, I'm always going to go with roster strength. Green Bay is a well-rounded roster. They're going to come out with a win.
I'm personally, I'm going to take the Saints in this one.
That's what I was thinking.
I think the Saints get done.
I'll take that defense on the Saints. Jordan Love, he's all right, but I don't think he's ready for that. I don't think he's ready for that defense yet. I don't think so at all. So give me the Saints.
We got Houston at Jacksonville next.
Let's go with the Jags. I'm a big believer in T-Law. Hope I'd probably get with the Jaguars over the summer, and I think they're gonna get one over Dallas.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the Jaguars as well, beating the Texans.
Yeah, give me the Jaguars. I like that team.
Next up, we got Denver at Miami.
You know what? Let Russell Wilson cook. He's gonna win. I think he's gonna win one for Denver. They're gonna ride this one out, and I think they're gonna serve as their first loss for the Dolphins.
Okay, that's a bold take, but I like it.
I just don't see. I was talking about. I don't believe in Russell Wilson anymore. I've seen all the quotes this offseason with the coach and workout plan, all that, and came in these 2 weeks and showed me nothing different than last year. So I'm gonna have a hard time coming back on that. Like he has to show me a couple wins. So I'm like, okay, I believe in this Broncos team again. So give me Miami. Miami just been looking too good lately. We gotta get Miami with this one.
I'm gonna go with Miami at home too. We got the Chargers at the Vikings.
Chargers. I think they have a really good defense. They're gonna give Kirk Cousins a hard time, and Justin Herbert's gonna eat up their coverage.
Sure. Yeah, I agree. I feel like the Vikings already don't have a good defense, and with Justin Herbert coming in with all the weapons he has, I think they're gonna put up a lot of points to the Vikings. I'm gonna take the Chargers.
Man, give me the Vikings, bro. They're not going out like that. They need to put a stop to this ASAP if they're gonna have any semblance of a good season. So give me the Vikings gonna pull this one out.
We got New England at the Jets.
Jets, Jets. But not Zach.
Okay.
You can only do so much with Zach Wilson, but I think their defense is going to be able to create a minimum of 3 turnovers to help them win a game.
Yeah, I think like you said, I'm not too obviously. I don't think anybody at this point is too big on Zach Wilson, but I feel like they say that defense hopefully should hold, and they should be able to pull out this win.
Yeah, I got the Jets at home as well. I think they bounced back from what happened to them last week against the Cowboys. I trust their defense a lot versus New England. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Jets at home as well. We got Buffalo at Washington. Washington is one of those surprise teams. Like they've actually been playing great this year. So this is going to be a tougher game than people think. But who you got?
You know what? I the Washington team has always been having a lot of managerial problems over the past, but these past 5 or 6 years or so, they've been doing a lot better than what people thought. I mean, their defensive line's elite. You have with Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne, and then Montez Sweat. We just got to see if Chase Young could stay healthy. Solid linebacking core and like an okay secondary, but their strength of their defense and their team as a whole is relying on that front seven.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll take Washington. I'm a big believer in Tim Howell, and I think that defense is going to be a strong enough unit to keep them winning.
Uh, I can definitely like. I'm not. It's. I think it is a 50-50 game. I think it can go either way. But give me the Bills, man. Give me the Bills. I think they get on a little bit of a roll and start stacking up some wins. So give me the Bills.
I want to go Washington so bad, but I feel like the Bills. I feel like the Bills take care of business. I feel like they just needed that game last week against the Raiders to kind of get back on track after what happened Monday. I see them. I see the Bills winning. I feel like their offense. Once they find their rhythm, bro, there's not many teams that can stop the Bills. Um, they can, yeah, the Bills can beat any team on any given week when that offense is rolling. I think they're slowly getting back on track. So I'm gonna take Josh Allen and the Bills. Um, we got Carolina at Seattle.
Uh, let's go with the Panthers. Let's see if Bryce Young could pull one off.
I'm gonna go with Seattle because one, I think they just said Bryce Young he injured his ankle last game, so his status for this game is not even like certain. It's not certain whether or not he'll play. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Seattle. Plus, I think they're obviously a better team than Carolina.
Yeah. Now that you mentioned that his status up in the air, and if he play, he probably not gonna be 100% on Sunday, and they need him to be 100% to have a chance to win that game. So I could, yeah, definitely taking Seattle. Give me that monster.
Next game we got Dallas at Arizona.
Dallas.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got Dallas winning big. We don't even need much explanation for that.
It's Dallas.
Sadly we have the Chicago Bears at the Kansas City Chiefs. I got the Chiefs by 50.
Yeah,
50.
Chiefs by 30.
50 is crazy. Yeah, obviously the Chiefs gonna run through them, but 50 is crazy. Dang, boy.
I'm exaggerating, obviously, but we're gonna get blown up. Sure.
They definitely go. They definitely gonna get busted. 40-0.
Sunday night.
40-0.
Sunday night football. We got Pittsburgh at Las Vegas.
Give me the Steelers.
Yeah.
I know the Raiders been looking decent recently. No, they just got a win. Did they win Sunday, or was it a close loss?
No, they got killed Sunday.
Dang, oh, wrong game I'm thinking of. But yeah, so I know they're not that bad of a team, but yeah, I don't try. Give me the Steelers. Give me the Steelers. Kyle Pitts. No, I'm not.
I'm gonna go with the Steelers as well on the road. I think they're a better team than the Raiders. And yeah, I still don't trust Jimmy G, honestly.
Yeah, I mean he hasn't really transitioned yet into that QB that they thought they would be, like him being behind Tom Brady. They thought they could see him becoming like Steve Young to Joe Montana, but that transition has not happened. It's not going to be happening anytime soon.
For sure. We got 2 Monday night games this week. First game is Philadelphia at Tampa Bay.
Let's go. No, Philly. Don't overcomplicate things. You have a defense that could you have a QB that can read defenses pretty well, a solid overall defense from secondary to defensive line, and an elite offensive line that any running back can get 1,000 yards behind.
For sure. I got Philly as well.
Yeah, fly, Eagle, fly.
Last game, we got the Rams at the Bengals.
Oh, you know what? Let's give that one to Burrow.
For sure. I think the Bengals take care of business the first time this season and get the dub at home.
Give me the Rams, bro. Burrow's not 100%. I don't trust their team at all. Yeah, I think they definitely can start out 1-3. Because the Rams are a sneaky team. Like, they not good, but they not bad. Like, they can definitely beat a good team on a solid night. So I think the Rams might just be that team to knock the dust off the Bengals.
For sure. Well, we'll see. We'll see how we do with these predictions. I know last week my predictions were terrible. So we'll see how we do with this week. But that's going to cap it off for this week's episode. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. We appreciate Frank for stopping by and chatting with us about football, man. We greatly appreciate you hopping on the show today, man.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, for sure. Anytime you want to come back, so let us know. For sure. Anytime. Yeah. That's going to cap it off for today's episode, man. Comment what you guys think about week 3, what you guys think is going to happen. You want to say anything before we head out?
Not really. I mean, I hope our Bears play better.
Yeah, for sure.
Putting it lightly.
I'm just gonna say, hey, just enjoy football this week, man. Enjoy it. If your team don't suck, enjoy it.
For sure, man. And on that note, man, we out till next time. Peace.
See you around.